Okay, so I have this new Fiat Sedisi that I have bought for relatively cheaply, about $2,000. And it's a pretty good car, drives nicely, needs geometry because I changed the arms and the steering joints. But it's always a good idea to also check the oil in the gearbox and in the other places in your car, wherever there is some sort of a fluid fill. You should check that. For example, in this case, up there, what you're looking at above the exhaust, and you can already see that the exhaust is discolored because it was greasy all the time. That's transfer box, and I figured out that there was actually 2 bolts missing from the top of the transfer box, and the rest of the bolts there have been loose. The reason for that is probably because it's pretty tough to access. Somebody was probably working on that, couldn't access that place, so they didn't really tighten the bolts properly. And what that have created was the little problem with the fact that now the transfer box was essentially emptying on the floor. And when I've got the car into my hands, luckily there still was some oil in there, but it was pretty close to failure. There was 0.4 liters out of 0.9 liters of oil that is supposed to be there. So basically more than 50% of the oil have already ended up somewhere on the floor. And this is why you should always inspect all of the fluids in your car, even if everything seems all right, even if you don't see any leaks specifically, or they're not big leaks, at least they don't seem, because you don't see anything under the car. You should always go and check that, because yeah, old cars, people sell cars for a reason. It's not like the car is perfectly good, so they're selling it. There's usually some problems with it, and you have to discover them before it destroys the car. That's the kind of a contract you're making. Yes, you're buying a cheap car, but you're going to be investing into it more than into more expensive car. So if you do the proper checks, you can actually score a jackpot. I think I scored a jackpot with this car, I hope. And really most of its problems is mechanical and just lack of fluids. Otherwise, everything should be just fine. So we'll see. And yeah, check your fluids in everything. That's an oil pan right here. I've already checked the fluids there. I wanted to change them, but I didn't have the right filter, so I'm waiting for that.